We have a shortage of workers in our country, and you see even in Florida, some of the farmers and the growers saying, why are you shipping these immigrants up north? We need them to pick the crops down here. But that doesn't mean that we don't recognize our moral responsibility as well.
Democrat Nancy Pelosi arguing that red states should let illegal aliens stay, to, quote, pick the crops. If you let them talk long enough, folks, these racist, elitist Democrats expose themselves, don't they? Joining me now is host of the Rubin Report and author of Don't Burn This Country, Dave Rubin. We need illegals to pick the crops, says Nancy Pelosi. Imagine just for a minute, Dave, if a Republican had said the same thing.
Chris, you so hit the nail on the head, and this has been my new theory, which is I just want these people to keep talking. We don't have to really say anything. Just keep putting Nancy Pelosi up there with her soft bigotry of low expectations and endless amounts of hypocrisy and all of that stuff. Look how quickly they kicked these people out of Martha's Vineyard. 48 hours, in essence. They had 150 National Guardsmen, and they were booted out immediately. Of course, what really is interesting about this is that she calls them immigrants, and the simple truth is they were illegal aliens. I am a new refugee of California into Florida in the last year. I have met some of the most wonderful people. The economy is thriving. Businesses are exploding. Everyone is hiring. It's the reverse of California, actually. Nobody's looking to hire illegal immigrants. If there are illegal immigrants that want to find work here, they'll find work pretty freaking quickly. And unfortunately, she conflates illegal aliens with legal immigrants.
That's what they all do. The Associated Press, the folks in the biased press, and the Democrats, at the behest of the Democrats, they do this. They put law-abiding folks in the same pot as folks who are busting in to America and say, oh, they're all migrants. That's the Associated Press approved language, which is, of course, really stupid. Over the weekend, Kamala Harris said hurricane relief is all about, you guessed it, race. Listen.
It is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions. And so we have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place.
Wow, what a bunch of pablum. Her comments, of course, sparking a firestorm and, of course, panic. The FEMA head, Deanne Criswell, had to clarify their relief disaster policy. Quote, we're going to support all communities. I committed that to the governor. I commit to you right here that all Floridians are going to be able to get the help that is available to them through our programs, end quote. You know, Dave, you add to this the Democrats' racist candidate in Arizona, the hate whitey diversity director in the DOD, Pelosi, and a myriad others. Who are the real racists in this country? I think the press has been covering up for the Democrats long enough. What do you think?
If they want to find racists, they need only look in the mirror. The idea of equity over equality is completely antithetical to the American dream. It's the reverse of everything that our Constitution and our founding documents stand for. You should not care about color. There used to be a guy, I think his name was Martin Luther King Jr., who didn't want his children judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That's the reverse of what she's offering. Now, she is right at some level that, yes, people are born in different starting places. Some people are born very wealthy and have great abilities. Some people are born poor, don't have abilities. There's every version in between of all of those things. But the idea that the government would give assistance based on the color of skin, no, lady. It is one of the most disgusting. I mean, she has said a lot of awful things. This might be the most disgusting and offensive. And the fact that the FEMA head had to immediately rebuke her, because if this was officially the policy of the United States government, if this was the policy of the federal government, it would be an impeachable offense for Joe Biden and for her. It's the reverse of everything America stands for. And I'm glad to see people really went at her on this one. We are not a country of equity, okay? You want to go to a country of equity, try China. You want to go to a country of equality, you try the United States of America. Oh, and by the way, you know, this implication that somehow Southwest Florida, because Naples is nice and Sanibel is nice, that somehow it's all rich people down there and they don't deserve the help, or only the poor people deserve the help. I've been going down to Sanibel my entire life. My grandma lived there starting in the early 70s. There are trailer park communities there. Most of the people are elderly, live in little condos. There are nice areas on the beach. Of course there are, but it's irrelevant. When a hurricane comes and destroys your home, whether you live in a mansion or a condo, guess what? If the government's helping, they got to help everybody.
So true. It is so true. And again, not to bring the whole conversation back to where we started, but if Mike Pence had said this during the last administration, this would dominate the news coverage for weeks on end, and shame on the press for not holding this administration to the same standard. Dave Rubin, always appreciate the visit, my friend. Come back soon and let's talk.